Welcome to Max Life, Man, the channel where we speak the truths that too many men have been left in the dark about. I'm Dr. Sterling Thorne from the Evergreen Peaks Institute, and together with my team, I've spent decades studying men's health, prostate function, circulation, testosterone, and the habits that keep a man vital after 60. Gentlemen, let me start with a hard truth. Your erection is not just about intimacy. It's about your health. How you treat your body, what you eat, how you sleep, even how you release. All of these choices decide whether your manhood stays alive or fades away. For too long, older men have been told to accept decline as just aging. Weak circulation, normal. Waking up 3 times a night to urinate, normal. Loss of energy, confidence, desire, just part of the deal. But let me tell you, it's not age that steals vitality. It's neglect. The Journal of Sexual Medicine shows that lifestyle factors, nutrition, sleep, exercise, predict erectile quality more than age alone. Harvard Health reports that men who ignore prostate signals and hormonal balance suffer steeper declines, while those who adjust their habits often preserve function well into their 70s and beyond. And here's something even more shocking. It's not just whether you masturbate. It's how you do it. Overdoing frequency burns out testosterone. Using the wrong technique numbs sensitivity. Ignoring recovery time congests the prostate. And believing abstinence protects you? Science proves it does the opposite. But before we dive deeper, let me pause and ask you to do one simple thing. Backhand index pointing right, hit that like button right now. I know it seems like just a click, but it's more than that. When you tap like, you're making a declaration. I choose not to fade quietly. I choose health. I choose to stand with other men reclaiming their strength. And let me bless you for it. To every man who presses like, may your circulation strengthen, your testosterone balance, your mornings grow more powerful, and your nights more restful. May your prostate stay clear, your energy steady, and your intimacy alive. And may the universe bring you not only health, but also joy, dignity, and unexpected fulfillment. Try it. You may be surprised at how quickly life begins to shift when you set intention, even with something as small as a click. Because here's the truth, gentlemen, men over 60 are living 2 very different stories. One story looks like this. A man ignores his body. He shrugs off the signals. He eats poorly, skips sleep, never exercises. He overdoes release without balance, or he avoids it completely out of fear. He never speaks of his struggles. His mornings are weak, his confidence erodes, his intimacy fades. He tells himself, this is just old age. But it's not age, it's neglect. The other story looks like this. A man pays attention. He eats foods that fuel blood flow, walnuts, pomegranate, spinach. He moves daily, even if just a walk. He respects recovery, listens to prostate signals, balances frequency. He doesn't treat sexual health as shameful. He learns, he asks, he acts. His mornings may not look like 25, but they are alive, steady, and strong. He carries dignity into every year. Which story will be yours? That's why I ask you to like, because it's more than a button, it's a choice. And let me tell you, there's power in choices. The Journal of Urology shows that men who actively engage in their health decisions, tracking diet, reporting symptoms, practicing balanced sexual habits, lower their risks of prostate disease and hormonal decline significantly. The American Heart Association confirms that small daily lifestyle changes, better food, better rest, better habits, improve blood vessel function within weeks, not years. In other words, change begins now. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. And this video is where we start. Today you'll discover the masturbation mistakes silently harming older men, the prostate signals you must never ignore, the foods and nutrients like vitamin D3, nuts, leafy greens that rebuild blood flow and testosterone naturally, the truth about abstinence, recovery, and balance, the habits that keep erections strong not for pleasure alone but for life, energy, and confidence. Gentlemen, you are not too old, you are not broken, and you are not finished. So if you haven't already, press like right now. Let that click be the start of your commitment to yourself, to your future, to your vitality. And as you do, know this blessing goes with you. May your heart stay strong, your circulation free, your prostate healthy, your hormones balanced, and your mornings powerful. May shame never silence you, and may knowledge always guide you. And may the universe itself conspire to bring you the energy, the intimacy, and the dignity you still deserve. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn may just change how you see your health, your manhood, and your future. The first mistake older men often make is overdoing frequency, believing that more equals better. When you were 25, your body bounced back quickly. Testosterone spiked overnight, blood vessels regained elasticity, and the nervous system reset almost instantly. But after 60, things change. Every release now places a measurable demand on your hormones, your prostate, and your circulation. Without respect for recovery, what once fueled vitality now quietly drains it. Here's what the science tells us. The Journal of Sexual Medicine, 2019, found that older men who ejaculated excessively, daily or more, were significantly more likely to report pelvic pain, lower energy, and weaker erections compared to men who practiced moderate frequency. Harvard Health highlights that frequent release without rest suppresses testosterone temporarily, leaving men feeling fatigued, moody, and less motivated. The Mayo Clinic warns that overstimulation irritates the prostate and pelvic floor, increasing inflammation and urinary discomfort, factors that silently undermine long-term sexual health. Think of it this way: every release is a workout for your hormones and circulation. Just like a muscle, the system needs rest to grow stronger. If you train the same muscle every day without recovery, it doesn't build, it breaks down. So what's the right balance? Most urologists agree. For men over 60, 2 to 4 times per week provides the sweet spot. This frequency supports prostate health, oxygenates erectile tissue, and maintains hormonal stability without burning out reserves. Gentlemen, let me be direct. Excess is not strength. Balance is. What looked like stamina in your 20s can become sabotage in your 60s if you don't adjust. The lesson is simple. Respect frequency, respect your body, because after 60, preservation, not punishment, is the key to lasting manhood. The second mistake men over 60 often make is ignoring the signals from the prostate. The prostate may be small, about the size of a walnut, but it controls far more than most realize. It affects urination, circulation, ejaculation, even the strength of erections. And yet, too many men dismiss its warning signs as just part of aging. These are the signals most often ignored: waking up multiple times a night to urinate, a weak or interrupted stream, a sense the bladder never fully empties, pelvic pressure or discomfort after release. Gentlemen, let me be clear. These are not harmless quirks of getting older. They are red flags. The research is clear. The Journal of Urology, 2017, found that more than 50% of men over 60 live with benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. An enlargement that, left untreated, can lead to infections, bladder damage, or kidney strain. European Urology, 2018, showed that chronic inflammation of the prostate reduces blood flow and is directly linked to worsening erectile dysfunction. Mayo Clinic warns that early prostate cancer often hides behind these ordinary urinary symptoms, symptoms too many men ignore until it's too late. So let me ask you directly, have you ever noticed these signals but brushed them off as normal aging? Type YES if you've ignored them before. Know if you've taken them seriously. Your honesty matters. Another man scrolling the comments might see your answer and realize, I'm not alone and it's time to act. Gentlemen, the truth is simple. The prostate is your check engine light. When it flashes, you don't cover it with tape and keep driving. You check, you service, you protect. Ignoring it only hands disease the upper hand. The lesson here is this: listening to your prostate can save your health and your manhood. Ignoring it is not strength, it's surrender. The third mistake many older men make is using the wrong technique. Let me share a comment I once received from a viewer. Doctor, I'm 65 and I've been doing it the same way for decades. Strong grip, fast pace. but lately I feel less sensitive and sometimes it's difficult to finish. Could the way I do it really be the problem? It's a brave question, and the answer is yes. Technique matters, especially after 60. Here's what science shows. The Journal of Sexual Medicine, 2018, describes what's often called death grip syndrome. Excessive pressure and repetitive motion can desensitize penile nerves, making natural intimacy feel weak or unsatisfying. The Cleveland Clinic warns that harsh techniques strain the pelvic floor and prostate, sometimes causing soreness or lingering discomfort the next day. Harvard Health notes that long-term overfriction reduces vascular elasticity in penile tissue, silently undermining erectile quality over time. Another viewer once wrote, "Sometimes I feel soreness in my pelvis after release. Is that just old age?" The answer, no. That soreness isn't just aging, it's a stress signal. Erections are vascular events dependent on blood flow and nerve sensitivity. Overloading them with the wrong technique accelerates where instead of preserving strength. So what can you do? Use lubrication to reduce friction. Vary your rhythm, pace, and pressure. Don't train your body to expect only one pattern. Slow down and focus on sensation, not speed. Treat it as maintenance, not punishment. Gentlemen, let me ask you, have you ever noticed less sensitivity or soreness after release but ignored it? Type 1 if yes, 0 if no. Your answer matters, not just for you, but for another man scrolling the comments who might think he's alone in this. The lesson is clear. What worked at 25 can harm you at 65 if you don't adapt. Technique isn't just preference, it's preservation. The fourth mistake older men make is neglecting recovery time. When you were young, recovery seemed automatic. After a night of intimacy or release, your body bounced back without a second thought. But after 60, the equation changes. Hormones take longer to reset, circulation needs more time to restore, and the nervous system doesn't shift gears as quickly as it once did. Science is clear on this. The Journal of Endocrinology, 2016, found that men over 60 experienced longer refractory periods. The time needed for testosterone, dopamine, and nitric oxide levels to normalize after release, compared to younger men. The Journal of Sexual Medicine notes that pushing too soon without recovery reduces erection quality over time and increases the risk of pelvic congestion. Harvard Health emphasizes that rest between releases isn't weakness. It's essential for preserving hormonal balance, circulation, and overall vitality. Think of recovery like sleep. You wouldn't expect your body to run without rest night after night. Eventually, it breaks down. In the same way, ignoring recovery time in your sexual health leads to cumulative strain, lower testosterone, weaker circulation, more fatigue, and reduced sensitivity. Gentlemen, let me put it plainly. After 60, rest is not optional, it's medicine. So what's the guideline? Most urologists suggest waiting 36 to 48 hours between releases for men in their 60s or 70s. This rhythm gives the body time to restore testosterone levels, reduce inflammation in the prostate, and reoxygenate erectile tissue. The lesson here is simple but powerful. What feels like slowing down is actually building back up. Ignoring recovery robs you of strength. Respecting it multiplies your vitality. The fifth mistake is ignoring the bigger picture of health. Too many men focus only on the act itself, frequency, technique, performance, while pretending that nutrition, exercise, and sleep don't matter. But gentlemen, you cannot separate sexual health from overall health. The science is undeniable. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2019, shows that diets rich in processed foods, sugar, and alcohol directly lower testosterone and nitric oxide production. Harvard Health confirms that regular physical activity improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and significantly reduces the risk of erectile dysfunction. The Sleep Foundation reports that men over 60 who sleep fewer than 6 hours a night experience a 15% drop in testosterone compared to peers who sleep 7–8 hours. So, if you eat poorly, avoid exercise, and skip sleep, no supplement or secret technique will save you. Your body will simply be too depleted to perform. Let me put it this way. Erections are not just a bedroom issue. They're a circulatory report card. If your blood vessels are clogged from a bad diet, if your heart is weak from no exercise, if your hormones are drained from lack of sleep, your performance will show it. Now, a quick reality check and a little humor. Ignoring diet, movement, and rest, then expecting great performance is like putting sugar in your car's gas tank and wondering why the engine sputters. Gentlemen, you wouldn't treat your car that way. Don't treat your body worse than your Buick. Backhand index pointing right, and since we're talking about not ignoring what matters, don't ignore that subscribe button either. Because unlike bad habits, subscribing actually boosts your performance. No side effects unless you count more knowledge, more laughs, and maybe stronger mornings. The lesson here is clear. Sexual health is whole body health. Ignore one and you lose both. The sixth mistake many older men make is believing that abstinence protects health. For generations, men were told that the safest way to preserve energy, testosterone, or prostate health was to avoid sexual release altogether. It sounded logical. If I save it, I'll stay stronger. But science has shown us a very different story. The evidence is clear. European Urology, 2016. Reported that men who maintained regular, moderate ejaculation into their 60s and 70s had lower rates of prostate cancer compared to those who abstained for long stretches. The act of release helps flush out inflammatory secretions from the prostate, protecting long-term health. Harvard Health confirms that consistent sexual activity, whether partnered or solo, is linked to better circulation, healthier testosterone levels, improved sleep, and stronger mood regulation. A review in the Journal of Gerontology found that men who avoided all intimacy were more likely to report loneliness, depression, and poorer overall quality of life. Gentlemen, abstinence doesn't preserve your health. In fact, prolonged abstinence can contribute to congestion in the prostate, lower testosterone balance, and a decline in erectile tissue oxygenation. Think of it like exercise. If you never use a muscle, it atrophies. If you never flex circulation in the pelvis, blood flow weakens. If you never release, the prostate accumulates what should be cleared. Now, this doesn't mean the more, the better. As we said earlier, balance matters, but the belief that total abstinence is protective is not only false, it's harmful. The lesson here is simple. Intimacy is maintenance, not damage. When practiced wisely, it protects your prostate, your hormones, and your dignity. Silence and abstinence don't make men stronger, they make men weaker. The seventh and perhaps most damaging mistake is treating sexual health as taboo. For decades, men were taught to stay silent. Don't talk about it, don't ask questions, just accept decline as part of getting old. But silence doesn't heal, silence isolates. And in the realm of sexual health, silence is dangerous. The science paints a sobering picture. The Journal of the American Geriatric Society, 2017, found that more than half of men over 60 with sexual health concerns never once discussed them with a doctor. These men endured problems in isolation while solutions existed. Harvard Health highlights that untreated erectile dysfunction is often an early warning sign of cardiovascular disease. Men who stay silent miss the chance to catch heart problems before they become life-threatening. European Urology warns that ignoring prostate symptoms due to embarrassment leads to worse outcomes, delayed diagnosis, more aggressive treatments, and diminished quality of life. Gentlemen, let me ask you honestly, have you ever kept quiet about a problem, whether it was weaker mornings, pelvic pain, or urinary trouble, because it felt shameful? Type YES if you've hidden it, no if you've spoken openly. Your answer may give courage to another man scrolling these comments, thinking he's the only one. Here's the truth. Sexual health is health. Erections are vascular events like blood pressure. The prostate is an organ like the heart. Testosterone is a hormone like insulin. To treat these as shameful is to deny the very systems that keep you alive. Shame has already stolen enough from your confidence, from your mornings, from your dignity, but it doesn't have to steal your future. The moment you break the silence, you take back power. You tell illness, "You will not grow in my silence." The final lesson is this: taboo doesn't protect you, it weakens you. Real strength is not pretending everything is fine. Real strength is asking, learning, acting, and refusing to let silence dictate your health.